You ever think about the invisible rules that shape your reality? Well, today we're diving deep into frameworks, these unseen codes and commands that secretly structure our world from way back in ancient civilizations all the way to the device you're watching this on right now. And our whole journey kicks off with a puzzle. So, what on earth could these two things possibly have in common? I mean, really. On one side, you've got the absolute reality bending word of a Mesopotamian god, and on the other, a boring piece of federal paperwork. They feel like they're from completely different universes, right? But, as you're about to see, they are both incredibly powerful examples of the exact same core idea. To find that connection, we have to go way back. I mean, all the way back to the very first framework, maybe the most powerful one ever dreamed up. The idea that reality itself was literally spoken into existence.
Okay, so let's break down the mechanics of this. In ancient Egypt, with the god Ptah, creation wasn't a physical thing. It was a two-step process. First, you have the idea, the blueprint, which was conceived in the heart, that was their word for the mind. But an idea all by itself, it was nothing. It only became real when it was articulated, when it was spoken into existence by the tongue. So in this framework, it's simple. Thought plus speech equals reality. And get this concept was how you measured ultimate power. For the Sumerian god Enlil, his word wasn't just a suggestion. It was an unchangeable, inescapable part of the universe's structure. It was just fact. And later, the Babylonian god Marduk was seen as the top dog, the one who shepherds all the other gods. His decrees weren't laws, they were the very fabric of fate itself. But here's where it gets really interesting, how this framework evolved over time. In those early Sumerian beliefs, if your city got destroyed, well, that was just tragic, unavoidable fate. It was a group decision made by a divine council, and that was that. But then, as we shift to a monotheistic view, like what you see in the Book of Lamentations, the whole framework changes. Now destruction isn't just random fate, it's a direct consequence of human moral failure. The command is still absolute, but now it's tied to an ethical system. You did this, so you get that. But this ancient idea of a command-based reality, it didn't just vanish. Oh no, it just changed its clothes and it started reappearing in some very modern and frankly very strange places. Okay, so on the really esoteric side, you've got things like chaos magic. Now, this isn't about casting spells or summoning demons. It's a framework that treats psychological operations, psyops, as if they were magic. The core idea here is that belief itself is just a tool. If you can structure belief, if you can direct it, you can basically hack psychology and influence reality. It is literally creation by command, but for the human mind. Now, this idea of shaping reality through structured belief, it isn't just for the occult. Let's jump over to the corporate world. Here's the founding vision for a tech startup called Orchard AI. The framework is almost poetic, a digital orchard where users cultivate their own success instead of just competing with each other. The whole system was designed to reward genuine value, thoughtful interaction, not just whoever was the loudest. A really beautiful, serene idea. And right here, this is the bizarre connection. I mean, look at this. On the left, you have a system for hacking reality by treating belief as a tool. And on the right, you have a system for creating a healthier digital reality through a shared, structured vision. They're both frameworks, both designed to shape behavior by defining the absolute rules of their own little worlds. But that poetic vision of Orchard AI, it needed a brutally practical framework just to exist. We're talking hard technical rules, like a 240-character limit on every single post, and a super complex architecture with things like stateless app servers and user-based sharding just to handle the volume. And the business model? Forget slow organic growth. No, this was a high-pressure, 90-day sprint designed to build the company and then sell it for a quick profit. So poetry on the outside, pure cold business engineering on the inside. And this is so important because it shows that even the most innovative, idealistic frameworks don't just exist in a bubble. Any real-world project has to operate inside these much larger, non-negotiable systems. We're talking about legal compliance like labor and immigration law, quality management systems like ISO 9001. These aren't suggestions. They are the unchangeable decrees of the modern business world. You think those rules don't have teeth? Think again. $2,861. That's the maximum penalty for a single paperwork violation on one Form I-9. That's for one mistake, on one form, for one single employee. Suddenly, that abstract idea of a compliance framework feels very, very real, doesn't it?
And just look at how meticulous this framework is. You can't just fix a mistake. No, you have to follow an unbendable, perfectly auditable process. No whiteout, you draw a single line through the error, you enter the correct info, and then you have to initial and date it. Why? It's because the framework itself is designed to make the history of reality totally transparent. It's a command that cannot be secretly changed. So, we've gone from ancient gods all the way to modern bureaucracy. But now, and this is the amazing part, these same principles of creation by command are becoming tools that every single one of us can use to build our own complex realities. Check this out. This is a master prompt for an AI. It's basically a modern divine command. It's not a suggestion. It's a specific, articulated instruction. You are an expert game development instructor. Generate exactly 250 unique, high-quality instruction response pairs for building a game framework from scratch. This is the tongue articulating the heart's desire, creating a new reality from a structured command. And what does that command produce? A whole new reality. In this case, a clean, perfectly structured, totally ready-to-use dataset. The abstract command has become manifest. It's a new body of knowledge that follows the rules of the framework precisely. And it goes one step further. That dataset, it's not just text, it contains functional code. The command filtered through the AI framework has now generated a tangible technical tool that you can actually use to build something new. From just a single prompt, a new piece of working reality is born. So, let's bring this all together. We've traced this incredible golden thread that connects the absolute decree of an ancient god all the way to a single line of computer code. The core takeaway is really this. From ancient religion all the way to modern AI, frameworks are the structured systems of rules and commands that create, control, and define our reality. They are the architecture of existence, whether that existence is cosmic, corporate, or totally digital. So to recap, we saw how ancient civilizations believed reality was literally spoken into being. We saw how that same exact principle of command and control echoes today in everything from rigid corporate rules to technical blueprints and even those weird esoteric psychological systems. And now, with tools like AI, all of us have the power to write our own commands and generate new realities completely from scratch. And that leaves us with just one final thought. This power to create through structured command, it's no longer just for gods or for governments. It's in your hands now. So the real question is, what frameworks are you building?